back to part 2 of the freehand flame tutorial, brought to you by myself and airbrushtutor.com. For the second part of this tutorial, we're going to be looking at the orange layer. Now, the orange layer is similar to the red layer in this artwork in that it doesn't require too much detail. However, you should be executing this layer from a closer distance than what you did your red. Do add some detail. Don't stress out if it's not looking like fire at the end of this stage. And what's the next step? Using this super light yellow that I've mixed up, I'm just going to put a little bit of that into my airbrush, and then I'm going to go ahead and begin doing the orange layer. Now, the most important thing to mention with the orange layer is that you keep it well within the boundary of the red. Don't have it extending out here anywhere, because it's not that it doesn't happen, but it just doesn't look right. Very difficult to get it to look right when you have orange or yellow outside of a red section. So keep it all within the hottest parts of your image. And don't worry too much about the detail. Detail in the orange doesn't matter so much because we're going to cover over it with our yellow. Take note that when I'm creating the shapes of this orange layer, there definitely is a general direction of flow from down to up. However, it's the wind and the reactive gases in the flames that force it to move sideways at times. Just make sure that you create a couple of these sideways licks within your flame, just so it doesn't look too uniform. However, you should be merging your shapes into one another to create that general down to up direction. You can see how I'm not putting that much detail into this layer, and it's because you don't really need it. You're going to add a lot of detail with the final yellow layer. So lines like these, they're sharp enough, especially for the size of my flame. And if I want more detail, I can go in there with a finer airbrush and create that detail with the final yellow layer. Every now and then, I want you to get in a little closer and create a short dagger stroke off the edge of your shapes in an angular direction. This promotes a natural feel to your flames while making them look stronger and more fierce. They shouldn't be completely random though. They should lie on the edges of shapes, and they should be following the general direction of the flames. Plus, you should be making them quite subtle. Subtle is better. I don't know. This mid-orange colour is around 4 parts yellow to 1 part red. But don't rely on my ratios here. It's up to you to create an accurate mid-orange. Even if this means getting a test piece of paper, spraying straight yellow transparent on one side, straight red transparent on the other, and then mixing up an orange and testing it to see if your colour is between those two primary colours. If you're not confident with your orange, that's what you need to do, okay? You've covered this layer really nicely with your mid-orange. Just take extra care when mixing up that red-orange though, because too much red and you won't be able to tell that you've actually created a second layer. Now, the next step for us to do here is to add a third colour layer. It's by far the hardest layer to execute. It contains all the detail, and it's either going to make or break your flames. I'm talking about the yellow colour layer. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in the third tutorial. So once again, I hope you picked up something new. I hope you've smiled and had fun with me. Love to everybody. Spread it. Cool.